Other Black Girl is a weird speculative fiction novel from the last couple years. Is it a thriller? Is it a comedy? Is it a drama? After reading the book, I'm still unsure on what's the best category to try and put this in, but I'm going to recommend it. Now, when it comes to books, of course, I love getting recommendations from y'all in the comments and from your accounts, but I also get them from traditional media and print sources. This one caught my eye because everybody was talking about it. I mean, NPR, Good Morning America, The Washington Post, New York Times. It even already has been adapted into a TV show on Hulu, which I'm probably going to watch. Plus, it had an amazing cover. That's all to say, I really didn't know much about the plot when I picked this up. Our main character is going to be Nella Rogers. She is a Black girl living in New York City, and she has landed her dream job with Wagner Books. The only issue is that for the last couple of years that she's been working there, she is the only Black girl. Not that she hasn't been trying to change it. Of course, she has worked with HR to bring about some town halls when it comes to diversity. It's just that her colleagues are less than enthusiastic and tolerant, and it's kind of petered out. Her hopes are raised when there's a new employee that is joining the ranks, Hazel, until office politics makes her think, wait, are we friends or are we enemies? The same time that this is unfolding, we also get alternating chapters with different characters that eventually you see are part of the plot and are telling a kind of parallel story. So altogether, we are getting conversations about DEI, so pertinent considering the political climate and all the horrible changes that corporations are going back on. But of course, this is also about the value that Black women have in society and how little they are looked upon, even though they are required to do so much more work to get to the spot that they're in. And I think because this isn't really a story about women coming together and building a friendship and changing things against insurmountable odds, and more, like I said, about frenemies, that I'm hesitant to say that I love this book. If we take a lot of the elements and were to just write a story about themselves, I think I would, because I clearly love stories about the publishing industry that's saying something about how it is and how white it is. I mean, I'm totally into Yellowface and Erasure. And with one of the subplots being about an author and her editor and how they brought their passion project, Burning Hearts, into a completely white publishing world. There is a historical fiction bent on that, much like the nonfiction book that I think a lot of people are talking about when it comes to a Harlem woman influencing the literature that came out of that scene. Would have loved it. Or maybe if this was even about the weird subplot that deals with conspiracy, mind washing, body snatching, all over it. But because they try to push all that into such a short book, even though it's tied up in the end, it's just not tied up in the way that I would have liked. Is this a horrible book? Hell no. It is still very good, and I think that there's going to be points that people will love, and it's certainly not turning me off to this author. I guess my complaint is I wanted her to write more. And is that really something to be complaining about? So there we have it. I liked it, just didn't love it, still would recommend it. If you feel like I'm being too harsh and this is the best book ever and I just didn't get it, make sure you share your points in the comments below.